So the design of this Pixel XL Pro here right now, I think is the coolest design in all of smartphones. Point blank, I can't think of any other phone that looks as cool as this does right now. The metallic matte back with the glossy metal sides that are polished and that are rounded ever so perfectly so that the phone is extremely pleasant to hold in the hand. And a cool little quirk is if you have sweaty hands, such as myself, these polished metal sides somehow help with grip. The buttons themselves are very premium and tactile feeling. Some of the best buttons on a phone I've ever used. Pair that with this camera visor design, which it's not tapered, it's not super minimal, it's not trying to be too extra, it's just right. It does attract a good bit of dust and debris over time, but something about it is super clean, super minimal looking, but not too minimal looking. It's just the right balance of looking cool. And as far as the camera, honestly, I've been having the time of my life shooting pictures and videos on this camera. Most shots that I get out of this thing, I'd say about 98% of the shots I get out of them, I'm happy with. They're very pleasing to the eye. They're not too processed. They aren't overly sharpened or vibrant. And most importantly, they're close to real life. They don't stray away too much from how real life actually looks. Sometimes you can get a shot that is a little bit off in different ways. Sometimes it'll be a little too bright. Sometimes it'll be a little too processed. But honestly, you can say that about any camera. Just point and shoot shooting. This is one of the best cameras for that. And in the short time I've had this phone, I've come to like a bunch of tiny things about it. And these are those. So those damn custom icons that you can generate. Now, there's not too much variety in the type of icons and colors you can generate, but if you find or if you make one that you really like, such as these green icons I found, they're really cool looking. They look really, really cool. The wallpaper selection is one of the best wallpaper selections in all of phones, I'd say, especially that community lens wallpaper category. There's so many nice, natural, real life photos from people. The new LHDC audio codec in Android 17, pair that with the OnePlus Buds Pro 3 or whichever earbuds you have that support that audio codec, and sound just got better. The little animation when unlocking the phone with your fingerprint is such a cool little animation, especially if you have different wallpapers for home screen and lock screen. The addition of MagSafe now is really nice. And just the overall smartness. I don't have time to go into all of the smart features of just how convenient this thing is in terms of software. And also, I've gathered a couple of tiny dislikes, starting with that damn Google search bar at the bottom. For some reason, you can't get rid of it completely. Like, I understand it's a Google phone, but why do we have to stare at that ugly Google bar at the bottom? The brightness slider, the control center. First of all, the brightness slider is all the way on the top of the phone, of the screen. You can't really make it go anywhere else. You can't adjust it, especially if you do have an XL phone like this. And yeah, speaking of XL, the XL phone, I don't think this phone is XL enough. The screen size is what, 6.78 inches or something like that. It just doesn't feel large enough for a XL branded phone. It doesn't feel big enough, especially with these bezels here. If you use the iPhone Air, it feels like as big as about that, honestly, in terms of screen size. But yeah, the phone is just not big enough for me. But yeah, that's a small thing. Most people won't feel that way. And as far as performance and battery life, I'm on the newest Android 17, like I've said, and day to day use is very solid, very solid. For most people, it's going to be fine. Social media, YouTube, music, the animations are smooth and fluid. The UI is uniform and complete looking, and everything looks put together. It's not super clunky like you could sometimes see on other Androids. And by the way, I have the screen resolution set to the maximum resolution. And even with all that, performance is great. However, sometimes the phone can get a bit warm, especially on a hot day, and especially if you're outside. So battery life is very solid as well. It's not a 2-day phone for sure, although you could probably stretch it to that. For me personally, it's been pretty much a day only phone. At the end of the day, I'm ending at about 30 to 40%, honestly, and that's not too bad. That's pretty average with my experience with these bigger phones, but for most people, not even an issue. I'm going to use this phone for a while because I really actually enjoy using it, and I'm going to do a full video on it just because, gosh, it's so nice. Yeah, for now, this is sort of like my first impressions. The last Pixel I used was the Pixel 7a, so this is quite the step up. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.